Hallo. En dankjewel for the reception. It's very nice.
Hello Kevin, welcome to Belgium.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
First time in Belgium?
No, I've been here many times.
Anything that strikes you as being peculiar or particular about Belgians or Belgium?
Well, only the fact that you have 3 different languages. That's and in fact, I forgot to bring something with me that I meant to bring. I'm going to make an effort to help you with this 3-language problem that you have by teaching you all to speak English. And so I've written a book called Sons of Soul, which I urge you all to come and buy a copy from me. Very inexpensive. Read it and then you'll fully understand English, okay?
All right,
sounds like you already do, mind you.
In the UK, there's a famous drinking game, which is name 3 famous Belgians. Can you name 3 famous Belgians?
Yes, I can. Would you like me to name them?
Yes.
René Magritte, Hercule Poirot, and Hergé.
Nice.
And I love all 3 of them.
Wow. You know, you're only the second one who could actually answer that question.
Is that right?
Most have like Hergé and that's where it ends. So.
I got a 4th one.
Go on.
Audrey Hepburn.
Nice. So, I'm going to ask you the same question tomorrow. But
oh, and Ronnie Waffle.
Who?
Ronnie Waffle, nicknamed Chocolate.
Okay. Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going to ask you name 20 famous Belgians.
All right, thank you. I'll do a bit of research tonight.
Now, you're an actor. What's like a typical perk of being an actor?
Well, I think about this often. I remember my father hating the fact that he spent his life going to work 5 days a week. And I love the fact that I can intersperse doing what I love with lounging around in bed doing nothing. And I can make my year's money by maybe working for half the year, and then the other half of the year being creative and trying to think of other projects and maybe doing some writing and stuff. But I think I hear it from a lot of people that a lot of people's dissatisfaction with life is they're not in control of their own time. And I think if you do manage to be a moderately successful actor, you are in control of your own time, and that is a massive gift, I think.
Amazing perk, I do think.
It really is.
What would be the most unexpected thing about being an actor?
Well, the unexpected thing is sitting in Ghent talking to a load of people about, or rather not talking about the work that you've done. And also being surprised by how many of your books they buy. Did I mention I'd written a book in English?
No.
But things like this are extraordinary. You know, I was 46 years old when I made the film that I can't talk about, that's about pirates. So at that point, I had been a working actor in England for 30 years. And then suddenly, this thing happens that expands your horizons, and I think the phrase is makes you international. And that really surprised me at that age, because I honestly thought that was my life for the next 20, 30 years, or however long I can stick around for. If I eat any more waffles and chocolates, it won't be very long, I can tell you.
If you wouldn't have been an actor, what would you have liked to become?
I would like to have become an astrophysicist, because I still do enjoy physics a great deal, but I didn't really have the math for it. So thank God you don't really need math for acting, apart from counting the money at the end of the week. So it was a good second choice for me, I think.
I imagine anybody in this room comes up to you and says, Kevin, my dream is to become an actor. Give me one tip. What would be the one tip you would give them?
Well, I do in fact teach a fair amount in these later years of mine, and I always say to people who want to act, when you go for auditions or when you work, never try to be a blank page. Always make an offer, even if that thing you do is the reason why they don't give you the job. At least when you know they do give you the job, it's because they want that thing that you offered. And the other advice I give them is always be well prepared and then very flexible. So come up with something really good, and when the director says, I don't like that, the work you did in getting that will enable you to go back to down to the foundations and rebuild another idea. So that's really, I wouldn't say the secret, but it's the only real practical way I know of working on character.
Now, when you're on set, that can be exciting, but also exhausting. So after a long day of working, do you have any ritual or any go-to place to wind down?
Yeah, wine bar. My ritual is picking up the corkscrew. It's funny you say that. I will say one thing to any potential young actors out there. I do slightly feel sorry for you in a way, because when I started in big movies 20 years ago, in that thing that I can't talk about, to do with pirates, where if we wanted to split a ship in half, we split a ship in half. The growth over the last 20 years of green screen has taken quite a big chunk of the fun out of making movies now, as anybody who works in the Marvel universe will tell you. So I'm hoping that one day people will become a bit fed up of the dominance of that green screen CGI, and we'll go back to making analog movies again.
Now, you've been working for like 50 years.
50 years, yeah.
Half a century.
Yeah.
That's worth a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Now, besides the green screen, what would be the one thing that has changed most in the acting industry in the last 50 years, would you say?
Well, the biggest thing that's changed is a lot of the routes into acting where you could practice and make all of your mistakes, like cheap television or local theatres, they've disappeared. So there is a sense for young actors that everything they do has got to be a big hit or a success. There's nowhere to go and make all of the errors that I made for 10 years before, you know, I sort of really took off. And coupled with that, our obsession with fame has got well out of hand. And I really do tire of watching television talent shows with 18-year-olds saying, I've worked all my life for this, I want to make it big. And you think, well, you haven't, you just started out, you know, why don't you give yourself a break for 10 or 15 years and enjoy the fruits of your labor later on in life. But I think young people are brought up to want instant gratification now, and it's not a great objective, I don't think.
Now, you mentioned you made errors in the younger years. Any funny story you'd like to share with us, or anything you still go cringe about? You know, you wake up at night sweating like, like...
Yeah, the amount of times they used to get me to take my clothes off on stage, that really makes me cringe.
That's...
Not as much as it used to make the audience cringe. We're all cringe together.
I don't think we want photographic evidence, so you can keep
No, I'm not,
no,
nor any sort of demonstration on stage here today.
Now, if you could have chosen any role whatsoever that has been played by any actor or actress in the history of acting, what would you have chosen?
Well, I'm often asked that in a different way, of what is your favorite role? And I'm lucky enough to have worked virtually constantly for 50 years, and I always answer my favorite role is my next one, right? The idea of recreating stuff, maybe when I was young I thought, oh, I'd like to play Hamlet or something, and I did play King Lear 6 years ago, and but my obsession over the years has become about film, and for me film is about creating something new. In fact, you know, I hate to be a grumpy old man. But another thing I cannot get my head around these days is the desire to remake things that were beautiful in the first place. Somebody did suggest, I saw online a few months ago, is that a round of applause? Beautiful one. Somebody suggested, why don't you go back and look at all the crap films that were made and remake them better? And I think that would be such a better idea, wouldn't it? The projects that failed, or the projects that didn't bring a book to life, or that didn't bring a theatre play to life, and do it properly.
That would be actually a good idea. Yes, absolutely.
4 rounds of applause is a new record for Ghent.
Let's see how high we can get.
Yeah, let's go, yeah. Well spotted. Yes, the lighting department are on form, aren't they? Round of applause for the lighting department.
Now, Kevin, you're famous. Fame, do you love it or do you hate it?
Well, you know, I would hate to be truly famous. You know, the way film stars are famous. It is very, very enjoyable to be able to walk around largely unnoticed, but then occasionally somebody to come up and tell you the value of the things that you've been in for them. In particular, the thing I can't mention about piracy. Because there are many of you here, and it was a part of your childhood, and I never tire of people coming up to me and telling me what a joyful part that was. It can also make me very sad, and I sometimes get a bit tearful when I say this, that there are a number of times when people have come up and told me that they didn't have very nice childhoods, and that Pirates was somewhere they could go to get away from whatever horrible things were happening to them, and we often have a good cry together. That's what I'm saying.
Have you ever used or abused your fame, like, you know, getting a table at a fully booked restaurant?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there are sometimes some perks. And I don't quite like it. It's a bit like, why do rich people always get free stuff? And poor people have always got to pay every damn penny for everything that they want. So I don't like that, and and if, you know, sometimes people say, oh no, I recognize you go in front of me, and I won't do that really. So I know that some people do, and it's not a pleasant trait, I don't think.
Get any free drinks at pubs and they go, drink?
No, that I will take a free drink. Yeah.
Just one.
No, not just one. I'll take as many as they bloody well give me. I'm still waiting for the barman at the hotel to recognize me.
Well, he can't confuse you with a pumpkin.
No, he cannot.
That's a good one. Now, before we take some questions from the audience,
yes,
a few personal questions. Can you tell us something about yourself? And could really be anything, you know, like a quality or something weird, peculiar, like you collect rubber ducks or what have you, that few people know?
No, I'm a bit boring, really. All I do is act and write. I mean, that's it, really. I am rather obsessed with history, so I read a lot of history. But the real interesting thing about coming here is that the thing I am most obsessed with is science fiction. That's my genre. I'm not particularly into magic or fantasy or even piracy, but it's science fiction, and that's why I wrote a book, a science fiction book. Did I mention that in English that I've got for sale here, called Sons of Song? Did I mention that? I can't remember.
Not yet.
Did I?
Round of applause.
So, But and so one of the reasons I love coming to these is because I manage to, if I get a spare moment, I can have a walk around, and I love watching, you know, this. Actually, I'm going to take my clothes off. Hold on a second.
Reassure me, there are not many layers.
There's no more layers. There's no more layers. Now it's a Mandalorian underneath. So that's great for me, and looking at, you know, those lovely robots and things, and all that Star Wars and Star Trek stuff. I just love it. Remind me to pick up my
yes,
jumper when I leave.
I will. I was wondering if you would write a book, what would you call it? You know,
Sons of Soul. It'd be a science fiction book. It'd be in English, and it would be to help solve the 3-language problem in Belgium. Applause.
Now, I did ask you that question. You are a father. How has fatherhood changed you?
Well, I've actually given up being a father now. I got all my kids together and I said, I've been doing this for 30 years, it's done. I'm over it completely. But I think, you know, it's just another wonderful facet of love, isn't it, really?
Yes.
So I enjoy it very much, being a dad. I particularly enjoy it now they're grown up. I mean, it was a pain in the arse when they were teenagers. My God. Have any of you got teenage children?
Guilty as charged.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I know.
But no, I mean, it's enjoyable. It's nice. Some people don't get to do it.
You have sons or daughters?
Two sons and a daughter.
Okay, because when you have a daughter as a father, okay, when they're young, they're cute, but then they grow up, and all of a sudden it's your princess leaving the house, and you go,
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I threw a party, actually. Didn't have to worry about it anymore.
Well, talking about parties, if you could host a dream dinner, and you could invite anybody you would like, alive or dead, who would you invite to your dream dinner?
Oh, I would definitely, I think it would just be the three of us. It'd be me, James Cagney, and Albert Einstein.
Right.
They'd be an interesting couple to talk to, wouldn't they?
Definitely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your moment to shine. Don't be shy. Kevin usually doesn't bite. There's 2 microphones, one on the left, one on the right. You can ask any question you want, provided you respect a few rules. And I'll talk slowly so Kevin can dress again. So it's only in English. Maximum 2 questions per person. Please speak clearly in the microphone. Respect the rules about the strike, please. No questions about series or movies or pirate shit you can't talk about. Don't ask for free hugs or free pictures. And just take it away. We're gonna go right, left, Kevin, so we're gonna start with the right, so
Okay.
please take it away.
Hi. Thank you. Good to be here.
You might think that movies based on books or theatre shows that didn't work out the first time, that you would like to see those remade. Are there any specific ones that you can think of that you would love to see have a second chance?
Well, I try to avoid, I need about 5 recommendations before I go to any theatre or any film, because I try to avoid having a boring experience in movies. But I'm sure you could look, there have probably been times, maybe that the first 3 Star Wars films, I mean not the first 3, the second 3 that were supposed to be the first 3.
Yeah.
Maybe they could do those a bit better next time.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hello, Kevin.
Hi.
I have a question from one of my best friends who couldn't be here today.
Yeah.
He wonders if you like to play games in your free time, like board games or even video games.
I do, and I'm sort of obsessed with Civilization 5. I love it. I have a morning ritual of drinking coffee and doing all of the games in the New York Times. So it'd be Wordle connections, things like that. I love doing Wordle every day. I think it's great. I'm a great fan of Monopoly. And I try to avoid any game that I do a voice in. Because you're just starting to enjoy it, and then I pipe up and ruin the whole thing for me. It just breaks the whole illusion.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello.
Hi. You said you were giving classes in acting yourself. Which subject about acting is your favorite to teach?
Well, what I most like to do is at a place called Real Scene, I direct the students' final films, short films, usually 2 or 3 films. So I really like to teach young actors the skills they need to act in front of the camera. So very, very craft-based. I'm not really interested in trying to break people down and teach them how to act. I'll give them skills to help the skills they already have. So that it's craft-based.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Kevin. There is a certain character in a certain movie that we don't talk about that likes to sing sea shanties.
Oh yeah.
I'm wondering, is there a sea shanty that you know by heart?
Well, there is, actually.
And which one would it be?
Well, it's. I think I sang it in a movie that I can't talk about pirates yet. But before I do, this half of the audience, right down the middle, here we are. You're going to be the sound of sails and rigging, okay? Do that. Very good. All right, so. And then the other side, you're going to be the wind in the sails. And the rigging. And the 15 men on a dead man's chest. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. Drink and the devil are done for the rest. Yo ho ho, all together, and a bottle of rum. Thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, I wondered.
Yes, it's called Sons of Soul, and it's a science fiction book to solve the language problem in Belgium. Yes?
What is your favorite song?
My favorite song, Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. Without a doubt.
Thank you.
Hello and
Hello.
welcome to Belgium, and thank you for coming.
It's my pleasure.
I was wondering if there was a specific approach you had to becoming a character, how much of yourself you put into it, and how you kind of decide how you're going to play a character.
Well, I mean, it depends on what the character is. I think you're always trying to find a bit of yourself, but I'm sort of old school in acting. For me, acting is about trying to become somebody else. So I really enjoy doing that. I also advise my students that, you know, if they come across Stanislavski or Meisner or any of these things, take what you can from it, take what's useful for you, but don't ever become obsessed with one thing, because there's a lot of things that could influence you, and you've got to get the best out of everything. So I think.
And is there any type of character you have not played yet that you would still enjoy?
Now, I managed to tick off one of my final boxes a couple of years ago by being in a Western, which I really loved in Montana. I played a sheriff in an all-Western town. But I haven't managed, I have on television, because I've been in Doctor Who a couple of times, but I've never managed to be in a science fiction feature film. And I would love to play a character in a science fiction feature film, even if I was covered in latex and had to go, I wouldn't even mind playing one of those parts.
I'd love to see that, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
That was loud.
Oh, she's perky, isn't she?
I want to know your favorite actor and why.
I think my all-time favorite, as I said about dinner, was the actor that maybe some young people won't know now, called James Cagney. He was a film actor from the 30s, 40s and 50s. Because I remember once, it was the first time I'd ever heard an older actor of another generation say something that rang true to me, which was he was asked, only once do I know he ever said anything about acting. He said, the guy said, what's the secret of acting? And he said, you walk into a room, you stand on 2 feet, you look the other guy in the eye and you tell the truth. And I thought, I can get that. I absolutely get what that means. So he's always been an obsessive character of mine. And I will watch the 30s Warner Brothers gangster films 2 or 3 times a year, all of them.
Is he the reason why you became an actor?
Part of the reason I became an actor. I think one of the reasons I became an actor was I was obsessed with chorus girls and the pantomimes when I was a kid. It was in the days when they used to have binoculars. You'd put a bit of money in and have binoculars. And you used to watch the girls dancing in the back saying, I could work there. It'd be really nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your favorite meal? I want to know that.
My favorite what?
Meal.
Meal? My favorite meal? I think my absolute favorite meal is shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie?
I like it with a bit of brown sauce, peas, chopped up carrots. No, he doesn't like that at all, no. Maybe even a little crunched up celery. I like that. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
What made you want to play Howie Wolf in Life on Mars?
Because I like playing baddies. I like playing bad people. And he was about as bad as you can get. You know, corrupt policeman. I mean, abuse of authority is something I really enjoy. Not in life, of course, but in bad characters. So I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
Thank you, have a good day.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
When you did not write yourself, what is your favorite book?
What is my favorite book? Movie 2001: A Space Odyssey is my favorite movie ever. And I probably watch that about 3 times a year. In fact, I'm coming up due to watch it again, actually, so I might watch it tonight. Thank you for reminding me.
And your favorite book?
My favorite book? Sons of Solomon. Oh, I'm going to do that joke. Actually, I'm working on a script at the moment. It may be my way of getting into science fiction films, to direct a film of my own book. I haven't found a very good part for me in it yet, which was an oversight on my part. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi there.
Hello.
So, I was wondering, what's your favorite alcoholic beverage and why is it rum?
It isn't rum. My spirit days are over, I'm afraid. My favorite drink is, I'm sorry, it's French. It's Provençal rosé wine. I didn't get a round of applause for that, did I, here in Belgium? Sorry, no, it's all right, there's no need to force it. After years of getting very bad hangovers with red wine and getting an acid stomach with white wine, I finally came across rosé wine and now I'm happy all day. In fact, I think
Once those questions are over,
the bar's
you can-
open in my hotel.
Not yet.
All right,
Go on.
thank you.
Hello.
Hello,
I have a question. If you can give...
can you get a bit closer to the microphone?
Sorry.
That's all right.
If you can give a tip to beginning actors, what would it be?
Well, we sort of covered this a bit earlier, but for beginning actors, I would say go to every class you can, to take every opportunity that you're given, and more importantly, try to find like-minded people and create some opportunities. It's very easy now, by the way, to make films on your phone. So write something and film it with your friends. That's what I'd say. And then just in watching it, you'll learn a hell of a lot. I look forward to seeing your first film.
Oh, applause. Please find people who will do the final question. So,
Yeah,
go ahead.
sure.
What's your favorite animal?
What's my favorite animal? It depends on what I feel like in the morning. Sometimes it's a dog and sometimes it's a cat. But I am also quite fond of elephants. And I did have a very close relationship with a giraffe in Africa once, but I don't want to go into that.
And what's the most important life lesson you've learned?
I don't think I've learnt it yet. I'm still waiting for it to arrive. But I probably would say try not to go into the third bottle of rosé wine.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Hello.
Hey, I have a question. During your stay here in Belgium, I hope you also tasted the culinary experience in Belgium?
Yes.
What was your favorite Belgian beer and favorite Belgian meal?
Is Leffe?
Yes.
Yeah, Leffe is the one. Although I was given one last night by a very indulgent barman. I can't remember what it's called, but it's it's the name's on the side of the glass. It's what something.
There's only 500 beers in Belgium, so
yeah, I
you
know
have to be more
exactly.
specific.
But it was a particularly nice, and it was a heavier beer. I like a heavier beer. Uval. Orval. I like that one last night. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. I would love to be a director in the future. What movie should I remake? What bad movie should I remake?
What bad movie should you remake?
Yes.
I think the fifth Pirate of the Caribbean movie.
All right. And would you love to play in it?
And I am available.
All right. So it's a deal. Thank you.
Thank you. See you on set.
Hi.
Hi.
How was it to play with Johnny Depp on set?
Oh, I'd never thought of that. It was great. A wonderful companion, a wonderful performer. No sense of punctuality whatsoever, but a really nice chap.
And what are your hobbies?
I don't really have any time for hobbies because sort of my work is a huge inflated hobby, and so I like that. And I will sit and if I've got time off, I just sit and try to find some films. I really love the apps on my iPad that are Criterion Channel. It's called Classics. There's one, and you just find some obscure black and white films from the 40s that you've never seen, and I could spend all afternoon doing that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. I was genuinely wondering what your book is about because you mentioned it maybe once or twice.
Did I mention the book? Barely. Well, if you come to my table, I'll read the back of it out for you, okay? It's about two brilliant young scientists to invent a fantastic revolutionary new engine that will take spaceships around the solar system and the 4 colonies. Everybody wants it, but very few people want to play. And so a wonderfully comic, hopefully, cat and mouse game happens when they get abducted, they get put into forced labor. The bounty hunter gets them, a really nasty man from Alpha Centauri gets them, and then the Earth wants to try to get them back. So it's an adventure all over the solar system. And I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Kind of got that.
Thank you.
Final question. Make it a good one, no pressure.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. I have a question. So if you could use a certain kind of compass, where would it lead you in life?
If I could what?
Use the compass.
The compass from a certain movie you can't talk about.
Oh, that I can't talk about by pirates. It would lead me, I think, right where I am now, and where I'm going next, and where I've been in the past. And long may I continue to travel to meet wonderful people from all over the world. And I thank the cosmos and the solar system for giving me the opportunity to do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin, I have a final question for the audience.
Yeah.
Do you think Kevin deserves a thunderous round of applause? Give it up for Kevin!
Thank you. Thank you.